All right. Woo, we got some sound. The minister's coming in from the back today, making shifts and changes. I'll get it for you. I'll bring it to you. I'll bring it to you. Good morning, everybody. How are we today? Yeah. Welcome to Unity of Louisville. Good morning, Steve and Leslie. Yeah, it's great to see you. Well, we had a bazaar yesterday. How many people attended? Yeah, most of the people. It was really, really awesome. And so we're so grateful to Jean Beckner for all of her work. Let's give her a round of applause. Yeah. She's not in here, but she'll feel the love. I know she will. That, we had over 40 vendors, some really interesting vendors, and I loved seeing all the different types of things that's going on. And that's out in the market now. Everything from Indian, like little, what do you call those things? Ponchos, and all the way down to readings and just some really fun things. So we're grateful for those who attended that. Most of the proceeds of that go to our youth and family ministries. So it's so nice to have opportunities for us to be able to share. It sends kiddos to retreats at Unity Village where they can learn and expand and follow our mission, which is empowering them to live a spiritual life and lead a spiritual life. My name is Reverend Bobby Kaiser. I'm the senior minister here at Unity of Louisville. And you did not come because your ego said so. You came because you're divine. This was a calling today for you to be in this very space and time to open your hearts to what is available to me in the world. Today I choose Unity of Louisville. If the song leaders will come up and we'll do our opening song. Now this is our last week doing this song and I'm going to miss it. Did people here like the song Home? It's a kind of a more contemporary song. So we've been grateful to do this. So won't you stand with us today and let's really sing this song out.
And I'll introduce the folks up here on stage.
Thank you.
I'm Robin. This is Zoe, Reverend Bobby, Ed on drums, Steve on bass, and over here in our lovely new spot, Winton on piano. Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear.
Sing it with us.
Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Though you're not alone, I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nice job. Good morning. I'm Deanna O'Daniel, and I'll be doing the opening prayer with you today. First of all, we light this candle to ignite. We light this candle to ignite the spirituality in our hearts. And as we realize that we are divine spirits living in human bodies, we join together with the spirit of our divinity. Take a nice deep breath and let that reality settle in. You are divine. We are all divine. And because of that, we let go of our earthly dramas. We let go of the dramas in the world, especially the situation in Ukraine, as we realize that God has this. Our spirituality and the spirituality of the world will answer these problems. We simply have to be patient and know that that is true. And today's theme is a theme of comfort. And with all of these challenges, we realize that we have the comfort of our spiritual being within us and within the world. And for that, we give thanks, and so it is. Feel the vibration. It's exemplary of the vibration that is within everything. Feel it as it goes through you, realizing that it is going through everything in the world.
Good morning, friends. I'm Evelyn Watson, your service leader today. If you're joining us online for the first time, it's a beautiful opportunity to click share so more people can experience the time of inspiration and connection. Behind every service at Unity of Louisville is a community of hearts working together. Today's message will be shared by Reverend Bobby Kaiser, and we are blessed with the special music from Janet and Lisa Essenpriest. We also give thanks for our music team, hospitality team, audio-visual crew, readers, and every person who quietly supports the spirit of this service. Our prayer chaplains, who are here to pray with you after our service, are wearing the blue prayer shawls. Chaplains, would you please rise so we may acknowledge you? There's Deanna O'Daniel, Linda Luking. Thank you, guys. Okay. Deanna O'Daniel will be praying with you today. Thank you. Let's take a moment to appreciate the many hands and hearts that make this morning possible. The Oneness Blessing Meditation is a spiritually enriching gathering held on the fourth Sunday of each month at 12:15 p.m. in the Barrett Room, facilitated by Bonnie Bolin. This meditation is dedicated to supporting personal transformation and the elevation of consciousness, contributing to a broader global awakening and liberation for humanity. As part of each Sunday service, trained Oneness Blessing givers offer blessings to the congregation during the Lord's Prayer. This sacred practice is known to foster healing in relationships and karmic patterns, enhance prosperity, and deepen one's connection with the divine. Rooted in Unity's spiritual teachings, for many years, the Oneness Blessing Meditation has evolved into a global movement, supported by a network of certified blessing givers and trainers. And just so happens that today the class is going to be held, so if you guys are interested, please show up in the Barrett Room. If you're with us for the first time this morning, we're so glad you're here. If you're comfortable, raise your hand. We'd love to share a small gift with you, a candle to remind you that the light of God already shines within you. And for our first-time friends online, just drop your name in the chat so we can celebrate you too. You can always learn more about our community at unityoflouisville.org. Let us now turn to our neighbors and greet one another from our seats with the silent namaste greeting. I behold the Christ in you. At this time, Joni Perry will join us to read the Daily Word, reminding us that Spirit unites us in unity.
Good morning. The daily word for November 23rd is protected. I rest securely knowing I am divinely protected. Protection is more than physically safe. It is the deep assurance that no harm can befall me at the level of spirit. I am guided and sustained by the infinite intelligence and love of spirit. This protection is not fear-based, but faith-based. A deep understanding that no matter what appears in the outer world, the Christ presence within me is my enduring spiritual protection. This awareness helps me put the news of the world in proper perspective. As I align my thoughts and feelings with spiritual truth, I feel safe. Affirming divine protection allows me to live boldly, knowing I am not alone. I believe in the prayer for protection, which assures me I am surrounded, enfolded, and protected by the presence and power of God. Psalms 91:11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all ways. The daily word for today is protected, and if you would repeat the affirmation with me, I rest securely knowing I am divinely protected.
Thank you, Joni. We now enter a sacred time of meditation. As we sing our meditation song, a prayer chaplain will bring forward the prayer requests.
Make me an instrument, Lord, of thy peace, as I let go
we continue in that idea of the awakened Christ in me. I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. Just notice your heartbeat. Divinely protected. Notice your bodies as you're sitting in the pew, allowing all of your body parts to just relax, letting those that serve you do what it does. Grounding our feet on the ground. This is our first step to grounding with Mother Nature, with all that is, all the physicality that we call this world. Some of us come in peace. Some of us come with chaos, fear, anger, resentment. And this is the time in our service that we can just allow that to go away and be in this present moment. What is it like to be in the present moment? As my mind was racing and thinking about everything for the service, I stopped at the door just for a moment and said, look at the tree, the beautiful tree in front of me growing, creating oxygen for the world I breathe in. Becoming present in this moment here at church with a unity candle lit and bells ringing, beautiful people singing, the piano playing. It's in this moment that we let go of any fears because we're present. We feel divinely protected in this moment, safe with those near us, knowing that if we are the Christ, we must be protected. But that mind, it'll take us on a little ride. But instead we come back to center in this moment, and the peace in this church. James Dillard Freeman reminded us that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And if God is, then I am. Decades since that poem was written, and churches all over the world have shared that beautiful message that we are divinely protected. It's a gift from unity, from our poet and our founders, that just when we think life got more than we can handle, we can mentally pull ourselves right back to center and know that if God is, then I am. If God is, then I am. I invite our oneness blessing givers and prayer chaplains and energy workers to come and surround our church as we continue into 2 minutes of meditation, silence, feeling the love and the light that they surround us with. To know that if God is, then they are. And what a blessing it is. Take that idea into the silence with you. If God is, then I am. God is. I am. God is. I am. I am because God is. As we return back to this room, becoming conscious into this reality, this moment here, our hearts are filled with gratitude for knowing our message, that we are empowered. We are empowered. We have the power. Because if God is, then I am. And for this, we're so grateful. And so it is.
I walk with God. I'm not alone. He's at my side. children of one great light. It will be all right. I walk with God. When I am lonely, when I am scared, I seek God only. He's always there. I walk with God through the darkest night. He does not fail, though others might. When I am crying, He hears my call. I give my all to walk with God. My faith grows stronger with every breath. I am God's longer than life or death. I walk with God for all my days. His love is constant. I will not stray. Then peace and goodness will follow me. I am set free. I walk with God.
It's so great to have your voices back. They ended up being booked a couple times the last time when we had our Youth and Family Ministries fifth Sunday. So they were kind enough to allow us to change our schedule, but you're back on the schedule now and never on a fifth Sunday, okay? We love you dearly. Thank you. So beautiful. So, so beautiful. All right, so let me ask you a question this morning. How many people here have had some type of fear this week? Any kind of fear? Almost everybody. I don't know the people who don't. I don't know if I trust you or not. Some kind of fear. How many people have had a fear of something this church has done in the past? That's pretty solid. Yeah. There's been times that churches don't always show up how they're supposed to either, right? We go through transitions in life. It's part of things and how it goes. One thing you don't have to worry about right now is our finance team. And you're like, well, why are you highlighting them? Well, in the past, there's been concern about finances. There was a point when this church almost shut down because there were not enough funds to pay for things. We were in an old church that was draining the budget. But that's not the case now. We created an amazing team with Gene Beckner and Matt Bowman and Bill Kuntz, Todd Royer, myself, and even our president, Leslie, joins in on that. It's amazing what this group of attorney, a CPA, and lots of designations for Gene and for Leslie and myself and he's a knowledgeable person, period, about finances. And so one thing you can feel protected in is that we made some decisions this week that were magnificent for the long-term stability, for the legacy of this church. And I want to give them a round of applause real quick for all the work that they have done. Beautiful. I didn't say the process was fast, okay? It took us about a year. We did our due diligence. But what I can tell you is that our little nest egg is truly protected in a way that I had not seen before in any church. And I've been in a lot of church organizations and boards. But that's not the protection we're talking about today. It's a different protection. Today we're going to talk about spiritual protection. We know that the kind of protection I'm talking about, if there happens to be some type of a thing in our society where everything drops, what do they call it, depressions or this or that, nothing's truly protected on the outside world, but it's not like that on the inside world. It's very different. When we have divine protection, it's something that's unbreakable, unchangeable. And boy, have I learned about that over the last 10 days. Such a shift in my life to go from our little family dynamic down one and wake up and see things differently, or go somewhere and not have that, fourth person there with us. But it's been one of the most sacred times in my life. One of those times when you just slow down. Everything becomes tender, and I'm invited into Spirit's arms in a way that I never imagined in losing a parent. And while grief and love, of course, have been sharing this space in my heart, both, right? The goods and the bads. What has surprised me the most is how I have felt held, how I have felt protected. Now, that didn't come from my ego. That came from a divine center and years and years and years and years of work. Because normally, when something like this would have happened in my life, I would have been a hot mess, okay? Crying all over everywhere, and oh my God, what are we going to do? And it's going to be, yeah, because that's the way I grew up. That's the way I was trained by the Baptist. Shh, I didn't say that. It was just different, right? In unity, we find a center, and we find that we are the power. And when we do that, we realize I can go into this zone, and it's not that I'm not grieving. Of course I'm grieving. It's my father, the man I've spent, 60 years of my life with. I feel held because, not because I'm strong necessarily, and not because I'm trying to hold a ministerial presence, although many people have said, you need to just grieve and cry. Well, that's a good thing. And that's not where I'm at right now. I shared with you before when my very, very special Meemaw died, I didn't cry at all at the funeral or the thing. I still cry missing her, but it's moments when I feel her next to me, when I go, oh, that's her, there she is. I smell that rose, that's her. But see, I feel held in a presence. I feel enfolded. I feel gifted. I feel safe. I feel guided in this time of my life. And not once have I felt alone. That's the real meaning of spiritual protection, is not having aloneness, but knowing that I am always divinely connected to Source. In the Daily Word, it says, protection is more than physical safety. It's a deep assurance that no harm can befall me at the level of spirit. Affirming divine protection allows me to live boldly and know that I'm not alone. I believe that Unity people are less drama queens than most churches. Now, I know that probably does seem kind of funny, but if you go to one of our celebration of lives, you're going to see a different energy. And I'm not saying don't cry if you go to somewhere, if you feel called to do that. That's a beautiful release. But don't expect me to do that, because that's not the way I necessarily deal with grief. I love that line, no harm can befall me at the level of spirit. For this week, it landed so differently for me not because life didn't hurt, not because I hadn't felt a loss, but because even in the tenderness, I felt safe, I felt centered, I felt loved, I felt surrounded, especially from this church. And it wasn't from an outer force, although all that you did to support and love and send cards and thank yous and food and all this was certainly beautiful. But this was a deep inner knowing. This is a centeredness that you feel when you've done the work. This is the heart of our message today. Protection is not something God does to us. Protection is something God expresses as us. You see, that's who we are. We own that. We are responsible for how we show up and out. It's not an outside rescue, but instead it's an inside remembrance, remembering my truth. James Dillett Freeman in the Prayer for Protection is such a great and important. It was the first thing that I remembered. I remember one time watching on TV this little boy had gone into some type of an autistic state that they had discovered. And Joel Osteen's church, he does a little blessing every week, right, or every time he does. And this little child had never spoke a word. And one day, those words got spoke to his parents. And I thought about that for a moment. And to me, that's what our prayer for protection is. It is our grounding, solid space that we can go to and know that we are divinely protected. But before we dive into the metaphysics of this, I want to honor the beautiful history behind this prayer for protection. It's a very, very special prayer. James Dillett Freeman, who was a unity poet and minister, he was also a mystic, wrote amazing poems, many books by him. He wrote this prayer for protection during World War II as an affirmation for inner safety for those facing outer turmoil. This prayer is the only prayer known of that's ever gone to the moon. They literally put it on microfiche and left it on the moon. His name was Buzz Aldrin. This happened in 1969 on the Apollo 11 mission. I think that's actually Apollo 2. The words were literally printed on a microfilm and left there sitting in the silence, in the brilliance of space, declaring into the cosmos, wherever we are, God is. So God must be there, even on the moon. But, of course, Unity of Louisville has its own take on everything, right? We're not just happy with the prayer for protection that went to the moon. We're going to add words to it. Why? Why would we add words to this? They do manifest. Thank you for that. And so here's what happens. And that wasn't set up. She did really good. She got 25 points for that. Here's what happens. In 1969, our spiritual thinking was at a different level of consciousness. We resonate now at a different level. Back then, a judgmental outside God was very common. Now that's not what James Dillett Freeman was thinking in this prayer for protection, but it's very easy, and it's certainly related to the people of that time. Now there's still Unity churches, I will tell you, that don't have the oneness thinking that we have here. And we bless them and honor them wherever they are in their spiritual journey, right? But at Unity of Louisville, we have what we call a oneness thinking. So for those that haven't been to this church before, we believe that you are me and I am you and she is me and we are all a part of the family. And in that, what you do affects how I feel. And how I feel affects what you do, you see. So somebody along the way, and I don't know this history of Unity of Louisville, said, we're changing the prayer for protection. And whoever it is, I love you and I bless you, and I'm so grateful that I get to do this talk because of that. Now, just a little church drama. We do have a little drama here and there, okay? Would anybody like to guess who would never say the new prayer for protection? I'm not going to call you out. I know one of the people's in here. There's two people. The other person's not here. God bless them. They've raised up. Anybody like to guess who that was? Alan Shearer. Alan wouldn't say that? God bless him for knowing what resonates at his heart, what he's present to receive, know, and bring forth. He wasn't ready to manifest the new prayer for protection. And just like it is on the moon, it's perfect right where it is, right? So we don't ever shame or judge anybody for that. But there was somebody else in this church that said, I think there's more to this. Let's explore each line. Not as a separate from God, but as an expression from God. Not God do this for me, but I am this with God. It is me. Alignment, not avoidance. Consciousness, not circumstance. Because as we said earlier, when I am centered, I am protected. When I am aligned with truth, I am protected. When I trust the divine flow, I am protected. Michael, are you able to, can you hear me back there? Can you put the prayer for protection up for me? Sorry I didn't ask you to do this, but it just hit me this would be a good time if you're able to find it. What's the very first line together? The light of God surrounds us. I am light. This isn't a bubble of protection floating around us. This is the radiance of our own divine essence shining forth, Charles Fillmore wrote. Light is a symbol of intelligence. It is the illumination of spirit revealing truth. When we say, I am light, which is not a part of the original version, we are affirming that we have clarity, that we have intuition and spiritual vision guiding us. There's not some light coming shooting on us, but we are that light shooting out into the world, because light doesn't fight darkness. Light simply reveals. Light doesn't push things away. It centers us so we can walk confidently. These past 10 days, even with the heaviness of the hospitals and hospice, there was a quiet light guiding every step of my way. A clarity, a gentleness, a knowing that I am not walking this alone. I felt it. That's protection. Number 2, the love of God enfolds us. Can you say that with me? The love of God enfolds us. I am love. You see, love isn't a force field. It's a wellspring within us. It's what we have to give out into the world. I can't make you love me, but I can love you all the time, every day, in every way, and it's not a thing you can do about it. Isn't that fabulous? You see, we see love as the wrong way. It's not something somebody can control me with. That is mine to give. That is my divine inheritance, to share, to love you. And you're not going to take that away from me. Myrtle Fillmore said, love is the great harmonizer, the great attractor of good. To say I am love is to say I live from the center of my being. I respond from kindness. I choose compassion. I remember who I am in my life. You see, this past week, love enfolded me. It wrapped me. I felt that in every moment. Not because it was easy either. It wasn't easy, I promise you. But because love was the ground, the foundation underneath all of the sorrow and the sadness. You see, love holds us when we hold a parent's hands, or we say goodbye, or remember the lifetime and moments of someone we love. Love enfolds us when we let ourselves be human. Love enfolds us when we choose to see God in it all. That is protection. Number 3, the power of God protects us. I am power together. The power of God protects us. I am power. In unity metaphysics, power isn't domination. It's an inner authority, a capacity to stand and live in truth, even when chaos and madness and death surrounds us. I am power. Jesus said in Luke chapter 10, verse 19, I have given you authority. Nothing by any means shall hurt you. Charles Fillmore describes power as the vibration that goes forth when the individual speaks words of truth. He would say, I remember in one of my things, that when you put power behind a word, it becomes an affirmation. That's one of my favorite things that he said when I was doing a talk on the word. So when we affirm I am power, we're not declaring I am strong because nothing bad ever happens. We are declaring that I am strong because nothing can separate me from the presence of God within me. It is truth. I am it. This is protection as alignment, not circumstance. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Together. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. This is likely the most misunderstood line of all. Because many people, if they read this, would think that there's some outside God watching over us, protecting us with a bubble. So then what happens when crap happens around us? Did God just let the bubble go? I mean, what happened? I got hurt. I don't feel protected right now. And then we shift back to our center. Wait, I am it. No one can do anything to me unless I allow it. I think back to those were in the Nazi camps that said all this was going on around in them, and they still felt the light. You see, it's an inner knowing. The reality of our exterior and our physicality is not our truth. That's what we believe in unity. Presence is the awareness of spirit. Here, now, in us, as us. Psalm 139 says, where can I go from your spirit? If I ascend into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. Wherever we go, presence is already there. Wherever we stand, God is standing there receiving us as an expression of us, not a separation. So to affirm I am presence is to say, I carry spiritual awareness with me. I walk in mindfulness. I remember God in every breath. This is how we live protected. Not because we avoid life, but because we walk in life in presence. And the last, wherever our God is and all is well together. Wherever we are, God is and all is well. This is more than a reassurance, it's a truth. Capital T truth, a metaphysical truth. Wherever we are, in hospitals, in grief, in joy, in change, in uncertainty, God is. God is. Not God will be, God might be. God, if you're listening. God, don't let the bubble go. But God is. In the unfolding, the transition, and the breath. and the letting go and the memory and the love that continues on and on and on, that cannot be taken away by any physicality. All is well doesn't mean everything looks good. People would say to me, well, I don't really like that. You're all just bypassing all the hurt and the pain. No, that's not what we're doing. It means that everything is held in that unbreakable wholeness of spirit that cannot be separated. You see, when we see it that way, we start realizing that no one can do anything to me because I am. But let's return back to that central teaching. When I am centered, I am protected. When I'm aligned with truth, I'm protected. When I trustify and flow, I am protected. This is how Jesus lived. This is how the Fillmores lived. This is how this church lives. And this is how we practice spiritual maturity. Life doesn't always shield us from pain, but Spirit always carries us through it. Protection is our inner peace, our clarity, our love, our courage, our awareness of presence. And 10 days ago, as I said goodbye to someone I love very much, I never felt unprotected. I felt accompanied and guided and held, and I knew that wherever God is, all is well. Just that word alone, that phrase, can bring comfort to our souls. That whatever is going on around us, truly all is well because I am part of that. Beloveds, we are enfolded, surrounded, powered, watched, guided, not by an outside being, but by a present expressing as you. If you remember our levels of consciousness, this would not be victim. A lot of people, even their spirituality, live in victim. This happened to me. But when we are able to rise above that and say, I am it. I own that. How do I manifest my truth? By knowing that I'm empowered. We don't walk through this world trying to get protection. We walk in this world as an expression of protection, because as we walk as the expression of God, we rest safe, aligned, centered, and deeply loved. This week, when fear pops up, I invite you to rest in your truth, because you are divinely protected. You have the power to go out and express, to be your truth. If it means crying, cry. If it means being encouraged and being silent, do whatever it is that's yours. But when you stand in your truth, you will be the light of the world. You will be the love of the world. And so it is. Amen.
Whatever I need for each part of my life will be there. Whatever I need for each triumph or strife, it'll be there. I know it'll be there. I woke up today, and clear out of the blue, the phone rang. An old friend I knew, said I'm thinking of you, feeling low down. It was just what I needed. Now I don't know what's coming. whatever it takes to help me awake. We'll be there. Each moment or place or connection I make, it'll be there. Oh, it'll all be there. No, I don't know what's coming up around the bend, but I know what I need. Yes, I know what I need. I know what I need. We'll be there.
Wow, how about those Essen Priest sisters? Are they fabulous or what? There's something about when relatives sing that is so lovely. And aren't we blessed with all the wonderful musicians who performed today? Thank you guys, all of you all, so much. I love it. We now open our hearts to the flow of giving and receiving. You may share your gift as the ushers come forward, or you can give online at unityoflouisville.org, by text, by mail, or with the QR code on your bulletin or the screen. However you choose to give, we are grateful. Let us affirm our prosperity proclamation together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Just a reminder, this is not for your reverse offering. So if you brought those, we're going to collect those outside. This is for, Linda's going to handle that for you all. This is just your regular weekly offering, and give the same or they're going to be mad at me.
Okay, thank you. We affirm these gifts of love and know that they flow in and through Unity of Louisville, blessing the gifts and blessing the givers and all those who receive. All right.
And a few announcements here. As a reminder, our prayer chaplains are here to pray with you. They will be back in the alcove. I believe that's Deanna, and she has her blue shawl on now. Also, Oneness Blessing is today, which is at 12:15 in the Barrett Room. All right, we also have Legacy of Love planning meeting today, and that's going to be at 12:30 in the Doreen Stein Room. I love how we're filling up all these rooms in this church, right? It's so good. All right, and then let's continue to keep Margot in our prayers. For some reason, at 9 o'clock last night, Reverend Jerry called me, and I could hear him in the background. It was a butt dial, and he was going on, so I just prayed for him right there on the phone and hung up. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? So also the reverse offering, as I mentioned, ends today. Just make sure that there's sheets out there with Linda. If you brought that back, if not, you can bring it next week. It doesn't have to be today. But if you'll bring that back, because we're just kind of calculating what our investment in the Bible passage was, okay? So help us with that. Let's see here. Hospitality team still can use some sign-ups. So if you see the board out there, sign up for a week. Just once every quarter even would be such a blessing to us. And then let's see here. Finally, we already have, I believe it's 13 or 14 people signed up for our choir. Yes! I'm so proud we're going to have that choir loft filled, y'all. So just keep coming. There's a couple people said they hadn't signed up yet. So we're very exciting. Our first Sunday for practice will be next Sunday, and then one on the 14th, and then we'll do a practice right before on the 21st. So I'm so excited to see how many people have come out of the woodworks for this. So join us for we're called the Radiant Joy Choir. Like it?
I love it. I love it. I'm going to sign up.
There you go. Come
All
on
right,
now.
we turn our hearts towards our youth program, affirming that they are learning, growing, and sharing as living expressions of unity principles. Let us bless them now. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ light that you are. And now it's time for our prayer for protection. Let us say the prayer for protection together. Everyone stand up, please. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And now, let's join in a circle to sing our peace song. When you return to your seats, please be sure to collect your belongings and trash. Thank you so much.
And while we do that, I'm going to just give you all some information about Facebook this week, some people that reached out. It says, Colleen Muss says, good morning, y'all. Denise Snow Stelberg, good morning. Also, Amber Lay says, this is my first time to be a visitor, so we're excited to be here. So let's everybody get in our line. We're going to go all the way around until everyone joins hands. So keep on coming around. Bring us around, everybody. I think we could have did the full circle today, but that's okay. All right, we're ready.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous time. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Namaste, y'all.